Once upon a time, in a bustling city, there lived a young man named Alex. Alex was a curious soul, always eager to learn and explore new ideas. He had an insatiable thirst for knowledge and spent hours each day consuming information from various sources. He would spend countless hours scrolling through social media, reading news articles, and delving into online forums. Alex believed that being well-informed was essential for success and happiness. However, he soon realized that his constant consumption of information was taking a toll on his mental well-being. As days turned into weeks, Alex found himself overthinking and worrying about the world around him. The more information he absorbed, the more anxious he became. His mind was constantly filled with news of disasters, conflicts, and problems, leaving him overwhelmed and stressed. One day, as Alex sat in his room, his mind swirling with thoughts, he received an unexpected visitor. It was his wise old neighbor, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson had always been a source of wisdom and guidance for Alex. Seeing the distress on Alex's face, Mr. Johnson gently asked, "What seems to be troubling you, my young friend?" Alex sighed heavily and poured out his worries about the state of the world, the constant stream of information, and the anxiety it caused him. Mr. Johnson listened intently, nodding empathetically. After a moment of reflection, he spoke softly. "Alex, knowledge is indeed a powerful tool, but it must be balanced with mindfulness and self-care. Consuming excessive information without pause can lead to overthinking and anxiety." Alex looked at Mr. Johnson, puzzled yet intrigued by his words. Mr. Johnson continued, "Just as we need to nourish our bodies with healthy food and exercise, we must also nourish our minds by finding a balance in our information intake. It's essential to filter what we consume and give ourselves time to process and reflect." Alex realized that he had been neglecting his mental well-being by mindlessly consuming information without considering the impact it had on him. He decided to take Mr. Johnson's advice to heart and make some changes in his life. From that day forward, Alex started practicing mindfulness. He set aside specific times for information consumption and made sure to include activities that brought him joy and relaxation. He engaged in hobbies, spent time with loved ones, and immersed himself in nature. Gradually, Alex began to notice a positive shift in his mental state. He felt calmer, more focused, and less burdened by the constant stream of information. By taking breaks from information overload and engaging in self-care, he discovered a newfound balance in his life. Alex realized that being well-informed didn't mean he had to consume every piece of information available. Instead, he focused on quality over quantity and prioritized his mental well-being. The moral of this story is that while knowledge is valuable, it is essential to find a balance and practice self-care. Consuming excessive information without taking time for reflection and self-nurturing can lead to overthinking, anxiety, and a lack of peace. By being mindful of our information intake and prioritizing our mental well-being, we can find harmony and serenity in an increasingly busy and information-driven world.